together where dreams surrender. Tender ages witness harsh reality. Modality of survival required adaptation. Station to station, moving with caution. Exhaustion from constant vigilance. Resilience develops through necessity. Tests of character form future foundation. Situations vary but thieves contestant. Persistent challenge, maintain humanity. Vanity replaced by practicality. Tactically navigating hostile environments. Environments designed to limit growth, both mind and body, under constant strain. Pain transformed into motivation. Inspiration drawn from our films and sciences. Stories written in concrete and steel. Reveal truths that some try conceal. Feel the weight of every word I say. Each page turned is another day. Stories written in concrete and steel. Reveal truths that some try conceal. Feel the weight of every word I say. Each page turned is another day. Yeah. Plot thickens as support and cast changes. Ranges of emotion, color perceptions, deceptions. Recognized with matured vision. Decisions guided by found wisdom. Kingdom of youth gives way to adult concerns. Learns that actions carry consequences. Sentences completed, new chapters begin. Sins made in ignorance erase, find forgiveness. Giving back becomes central to narrative. Comparative analysis shows clear growth. Both internal struggles and external battles. Grappled with demons, personal and systemic. Endemic issues addressed, not avoided. Devoted to authentic representation. Crimson tension of facts without glamorizing. Categorizing experience, aids educational. Every story has its turns. Every lesson had to burn. Every chapter brings new views. Every ending starts anew. Conclusion draws near but never complete. Streets continue influencing development. Evident that origins shape destinations for which past cannot be severed. Leverage experiences create wisdom. Freedom found through acceptance. Acceptance of reality doesn't mean surrender. Surrendering to truth leads to peace. Release from burdens of false narratives. From burdens of false narratives. Creative expression serves as therapy. Clarity achieved through artistic outlet. Outlet for voices that often gun heard. Now heard and heard how some criticize without understanding. Landing spots softer for those who follow. Hollow criticism doesn't diminish facts. Fact for impact. Fact rabbinicism doesn't diminish impact. Facts remain with opinion shape. Stories written in concrete and steel. Reveal truths that some try to conceal. Feel the weight of every word.
Yeah, this that raw stuff. The uncut, unfiltered. Let's go. Yeah. I step on stage and commandeer the attention. Dimensions of my lyrical inventions cause tension among competitors who lack the comprehension of complex sense structures that defy convention. My reputation precedes me. Indeed, the feed is needing more content from this verbal genius. I see this game for what it is. Opportunities for communities to unite despite disparities. Various styles I've mastered, no disasters when I deliver bars faster than your synapses can process the message I manifest. Stressing the fact that your flow is depressed while mine's elevated to heights unprecedented. Competitors left feeling quite tormented by the reality their rhymes are rented while mine are cemented in hip-hop's legacy. Challenge me if you dare. Step up, take the dare. My bars leave you impaired. Got skills beyond compare. Challenge me if you dare. Step up, take the dare. My bars leave you impaired. Got skills beyond compare. Allow me to demonstrate lyrical prowess. The dopest female MC. Yes, I confess I possess abilities that leave you breathless, questioning why your rhymes are basic and feckless. I progress while you regress to simplicity. My authenticity gives me electricity on the mic as I recite poetic verses that disperse the notion that male MCs are worthiest. The first list of greatest should include women who've been spitting and hitting targets with precision. My decision to enter this male domain brought new flames, so outpained I was going plain. I maintain respect without compromising my femininity while still rising above stereotypes and expectations, creating new foundations for future generations. Back to back, we attack. Track to track, never lack. Fact to fact, we impact. That's how real MCs act. Let me bring it back to fundamental elements. Intelligence evident in every sentiment I present with confidence, never hesitant. My flow evident to fake competitors' detriment. They say I'm arrogant, I say I'm confident. Inabilities honed since adolescent. My progression shows no signs of regression, while other MCs stay stuck in the expression, obsessing over trends that will soon fade. I raid the culture for knowledge, not accolades. Made in the tradition of those who paved the way for artists like me to raid the stage. With lyrics that engage minds and hearts alike. Strike chords with those who relate to real life. No strife when I grip the mic with conviction. Fiction is not my style, I deal in depiction. Challenge me if you dare. Step up, take the dare. My bars leave you impaired. Got skills beyond compare. Challenge me if you dare. Step up, take the dare. My bars leave you impaired. Got skills beyond compare.
Starting off with fundamental principles, indivisible units of lyrical particles, articles of faith in this musical craft. Laugh at those who think they can't match this. This dynamic duo brings double trouble. Bubble bursting for those living in bubbles. Subtle nuances in our vocal delivery. Quivering competitors can barely breathe when we enter arenas of verbal combat. Contact made with precise impact. Fact patterns establish our dominance. Prominence achieve the persistence. Insistence on quality over quantity. Entities like us are rare commodities. Oddities that somehow work perfectly. Perfectly balanced as all things shall be. Receiving the verbal baton with grace. Places secured in this lyrical race. Face to face with those who doubt. About time they learn what we're about. Boutiques of thoughts carefully curated. Stated purposes clearly articulated. Hated by some but that's expected. Respected by whose opinions actuate matter. Shatter perceptions of what a team can do. New approaches to old school values. Revenues generated from raw talent. Balance between commercial and authentic. Sick of cookie cutter compositions. Missions accomplished with precision. Vision shared between creative minds finding harmony in different perspectives. Call, give, push, pull, lead, follow, question, answer, challenge, accept. Third verse demonstrating versatility. Ability to switch styles with agility. Facility with words beyond average. Damage, cultural effects of active contact. Tactics, we complement each other. Smother competition with coordinated, orchestrated attacks from multiple angles. Angles so fresh opponents can't adapt. Wrapped in synergy that can't be taught. Bought into vision long before fame. Game recognizes game that's unmatched. Attached to mission, not just ambition. Transmission of ideas without static. The radio effect without theatrics. Various approaches sharing one goal. Soul connection makes this unbeatable. Back and forth like a pendulum swing. Trading bars like we trading rings. Two minds connecting on one beat. Back and forth like a pendulum swing. Trading bars like we trading rings. Two minds connecting on one beat.
It's about to go down. The ultimate showdown. The ultimate showdown. Let's go. First round begins with technical precision. Decision to demolish competition made. Displayed skills honed through years of practice. Tactics refined for countless battles. Rattles, foundations of pretenders to the throne. Known for leaving opponents speechless. Reaches deep into arsenal of verbal weapons. Step into guarantees your defeat. Complete domination from start to finish. Diminish your confidence with calculated strikes like a grandmaster. Seeing 10 moves ahead. Headshot delivered with pinpoint accuracy. Fallacy to think you stand a fighting chance. Glance at my record shows consistent victories. Theories about defeating me remain unproven. Moving target with unpredictable prudence.
Taking over where we left off. Scuff at those who doubt female dominance. Prominence achieved through raw talent. Balance between technical and emotional. Notional concepts of gender limitation. Stations themselves to witness greatness. Faceless critics become my biggest fans. Plans so defeat me always end in failure due to underestimation. Preparation meets opportunity. Unity of mind, body and spirit. Lyrical, spiritual, miracle, individual. Visual representation of excellence. Sentence structures complex yet accessible. Intellectual approach with street credibility. Verity in my words leave absent. Face to face, bar for bar. Raising standards, raising scars. Microphone check 1, 2. Nobody does what we do. Face to face,
scars. Microphone check 1 2. Nobody does what we do. Second verse intensifies the assault. Fault lines appear in your defense. Tense moments as reality sets in. Beginning to understand the gravity. Facing someone beyond your league. Fatigue sets in while I'm still fresh. Mesh of technical skill and raw power. Devour compression with relentless attack. Stacks of fallen opponents for my resume. Display of dominance continues unabated. Stated clearly, challenging me brings defeat. Complete surrender remains sole option. Optional participation becomes mandatory loss. Toss in the towel before further damage. Manage expectations when facing greatness. Patience runs thin when mediocrity challenge mastery. When mediocrity challenge mastery. What mastery. Picking up momentum like a freight train. Maintain pressure until victory's secured. Assured destruction of any resistance. Insistence on excellence means making example samples of my skill. Leave crowds amazed. Dazed opponents wonder what happened. Caption highlights feature their defeat. Sweet victory tastes even better when shared. Compared to legends, but I've surpassed them. Fathom depths of my lyrical arsenal. Carnival of destruction. Whenever I perform, storm off words causing mass destruction. Construction of verses engineered perfectly. Certainly no chance for rehabilitate. Face to face, bar for bar. Raising standards, raising scars. Microphone check 1 2. Nobody does what we do. Face to face, bar for bar. Raising standards, raising scars. Microphone check 1 2. Nobody does what we do.
Want you. Like Betty, a great challenge. That theory. And get surprised if I'm down. Street strategist, tactical lyricist, mystical abilities leave critics in fits. Spitting venom with precision of a marksman. Verbal assassination, mind left darkening. Crafted in shadows, raw beats amplified. Mic in hand, my skills can't be denied. Bringing heat to the weak, watch them realize. My verbal warfare leaves opponents paralyzed. Classic bars and beats, that's the foundation. Building legacy beyond your imagination. No fabrication, just pure concentration. Every bar I drop deserves a standing ovation. I'm clocking zeros while you counting pennies. Heavy artillery, my arsenal is many. Lyrical therapy, mentally heavy. Flow so deadly, you ain't ready. Real recognizes real when I step into place. Got a flow that'll slap you right across your face. No time for the fakes, I stay true to the game. When I spit these bars, nothing remains the same. Real recognizes real when I step into place. Got a flow that'll slap you right across your face. No time for the fakes, I stay true to the game. When I spit these bars, nothing remains the same. I was raised where the sirens never cease, where dreams get sold but nobody receives, where hope feels like a luxury we can't afford, and everyday life's a battle we can't ignore. But still I rise above the circumstances, taking every setback as second chances. Pen to the pad, I craft these masterpieces. My flow increases as your attention increases. Been in the cut, perfecting my craft, while you fake MCs busy taking the path of least resistance. No persistence, your existence in this game needs assistance. I bring substance when I touch the microphone, leaving whack rappers feeling so alone. True to the culture since day one, when I grab the mic, consider it done. Yeah, that real raw sound. Yeah, that true boom bap. Yeah, that raw essence. Yeah, can't hold back. Street strategist, tactical lyricist, mystical abilities leave critics in fits. Spitting venom with precision of a marksman. Verbal assassination, mind left darkening. Crafted in shadows, raw beats amplified. Mic in hand, my skills can't be denied. Bringing heat to the weak, watch them realize. My verbal warfare leaves opponents paralyzed. Classic bars and beats, that's the foundation. Building legacy beyond your imagination. No fabrication, just pure concentration. Every bar I drop deserves a standing ovation. I'm clocking zeros while you counting pennies. Heavy artillery, my arsenal is many. Lyrical therapy, mentally heavy, flow so deadly, you ain't ready. Real recognizes real when I step into place. Got a flow that'll slap you right across your face. No time for the fakes, I stay true to the game. When I spit these bars, nothing remains the same. Real recognizes real when I step into place. Got a flow that'll slap you right across your face. No time for the fakes, I stay true to the game. When I spit these bars, nothing remains the same. It's about to go down. Energy levels rising. Watch this.
Amp it up, can't stop now. Taking charge, showing how. Never back down from the challenge. My skill set's too balanced. Amp it up, can't stop now. Taking charge, showing how. Never back down from the challenge. My skill set's too balanced. Amplified presence when I step in. Second to none, leave impressions. Sessions in the booth create weapons. Questions about Mike Zalin get lost at. Drafted as first pick in this verbal league. Fatigue never sets in when I speak. Unique approach to classic techniques. Critiques cannot touch my expertise. Mobilizing forces with my vocal presence. Essence of greatness is my adolescence. Lessons taught through lyrical messages. Professional level with no regression. So basic patterns that limit expression. Possession of skills beyond comprehension. Tension builds with each line delivered. Shiver sent for rewees will it consider. Turn it up, break it down. Feel the rush, hear the sound. Kinetic energy transfers through audio. Radios blast my anthems in stereo. Various styles mastered thoroughly. Mercifully destroying competitors. Easily, readily adapting to any situation. Stations across nations play my creation. Patience isn't needed when skill is evidence. Evidence of excellence is prevalent. And everything I touch turns classic instantly. History books will mention me distinctly. Wistfully, imitators try to capture. Raptures off applause when in manufacture. Structured chaos with imperfect order. Borders cannot contain my influence. Since my entrance, game's been different levels to this lyrical dominance. They say I move too fast. They say I aim too high. They say I dream too big. But watch me touch the sky. Technical mastery beyond classification. Verification of skills needs no explanation. Stations themselves to witness greatness. Statements made, their verses leave no doubt about who's reigning supreme in this field. Sealed fate for those trying to compete. Meet your match, then admit defeat. Complete domination as my agenda when penning these lines that define eras. Terror strikes hearts when I appear on marathon sessions. Proving my stamina, damage control becomes and comes in full for opponents facing my verbal artillery. Momentarily they might seem formidable, comical. How quickly they dissolve, resolve, strengthen with each victory. Amp it up, can't stop now. Taking charge, showing how. Never back down from the challenge. My skill set's too balanced. Amp it up, can't stop now. Taking charge, showing how. Never back down from the challenge. My skill set's too balanced.
Cubist perspective on rectangular beats. Incomplete thoughts form incomplete. Streets viewed from multiple angles. Tangled concepts forming mandalas in mind. Find me where conventional wisdom fails. Tales told through fractured details. Scales tipping toward the abstract. Facts morph into fiction then back again. When linear thinking reaches its limits, infinite possibilities begin to spin it. In it, to create, not to duplicate. Rate my rhymes against standard metrics. Get perplexed by unconventional methods. Fettered, not by traditional measures. Treasures hidden in asymmetrical verses. Cursed with visions most cannot perceive.
Fragmented pieces of a whole. Restructured thoughts take control. Outside the lines where ideas flow. Fragmented pieces of a whole. Restructured thoughts take control. Outside the lines where ideas flow.
Deconstructing forms to build anew. Few understand what my mind can do. Blueprints torn up and reassembled, assembled, not jumbled, then clarified. Stratified layers of meaning embedded, headed toward destinations uncharted. Started from chaos to find order, borders between real and surreal rays, facing criticism with innovation. Stations of thought outside limitations. Patience required to comprehend, bend perceptions. A thought rap can be. See beyond surface pablensations, representations of fractured realities. Duality, embraced, not rejected, connected, dots forming constellations. Attract patterns, extract meanings, retract assumptions, attract visionaries, redact conventions, exact revolution. Quantum physics in verbal form, norm defying versus transform. Storm of ideas, breaking boundaries. Boundaries too rigid cause of atrophy. Trophy hunters miss the essence. Presence felt to cross dimensions. Tensions between old and new. Proof, thought, leaders understand. Land where innovation reigns supreme. Streams of consciousness converge. Urge to create overpowers doubt about time for change. Shout, but now how? Many standards need breaking, taking risks while others play safe. Faith in progression, not stagnation. Aggravation requires destabilization. Fragmented pieces of a whole, restructured thoughts take control. Outside the lines where ideas flow. Fragmented pieces of a whole, restructured thoughts take control. Outside the lines where ideas flow. Where convention ends, imagination begins. Find me at the crossroads between what is and what could be. Minimal approach with maximum impact. Exact science behind each contact. Fact remains that my style's distinct. Instinct drives it as my pen wanna think. Link concepts that most overlook. Took time to master what others forsook. Book of rhymes got chapters untold. Bold statements from my mind uncontrolled. Roll with caution in territories unknown. Grown from seeds, carefully sown. Shown the way by masters before me. Stories in lyrical form terrestrially. Exploring depths of human condition. Mission to bring audible ammunition. Cognition enhanced by my compositions. Transition from thought to precision. Calculated risks with measurable rewards. Towards greatness is where I'm moving forward. Guarded secrets shared only with few. Truest senses revealed when words break through. Newfound clarity in complex situations. Nations divided by false information. Patience required for proper digestion. Questions raised by lyrical suggestions. Resting on laurels isn't my style, while others settle for mediocrity. Meanwhile, compile thoughts into structured form. Norm-defying verses start to transform. Conform not to standards set by others. Brothers and sisters, hear my frequency. See the depth behind simplicity. Complexity hinted in my minimalism. Less is more. Space between notes. Silence speaks when wisdom flows. Strategic placement of verbal attacks. Facts laid bare, leaving no tracks. Stacks of notebooks filled with thoughts brought to life. When the beat drops, crops harvested from mental fields. Sealed containers of concepts revealed. Healed wounds through expressive arts. Parts often split it across charts and graphs. Laughs disguise the seriousness. Various angles on my lyrical business. Witnesses testify to my proficiency. Efficiently delivering messages without unnecessary additions that distract. Exact measures taken to keep intact. Tact employed when addressing masses. Classes in session when my voice passes between the lines of what's spoken. Find messages that stay unbroken. Coded language for the chosen. Between the lines of what's spoken. Find messages that stay unbroken.
Coded language for the chosen.
First movement, introductory statement. Breaking barriers, no time to hesitate. Creating pathways where none existed. Persistent vision, the candle bet twisted. Shifting paradigms with verbal gymnastics. Massive impact, that's rather drastic. Classic composition, lyrical tactician. Precision in my mission, no competition. Facing obstacles with determination. Conversation starter across every nation. Patience tested through tribulation. Revelations come from internal meditations. Elevated consciousness in every bar, far beyond what others are. Stars align when I write these lines. Minds open as me words intertwine. They never saw me coming. They never felt my presence until the moment arrived when silence wasn't an option. Queen status, bow down. My crown won't fall off. Commanding presence, take note. My essence can't be bought. Queen status, bow down. My crown won't fall off. Commanding presence, take note. My essence can't be bought. Second verse hits harder than the first, quenching lyrical thirst rehearsed. Curse those who doubted my abilities. Facilities of my nerve infertility. Stability in a game that's often shaky. Making moves that some call brazen. Blazing trails for those who follow. Swallow pride so truth can't be heard. Word to the wise, recognize greatness. Latest addition to the hall of fameless. Shameless, in pursuit of excellence. Evidence of my relevance is apparent. Know how many tried but couldn't maintain. Strain under pressure reveals the fake. Take notes as I demonstrate. Stay off mind, elevated beyond usual. Clear the path, I'm coming through. New approach, breaking rules. Can't contain what's in my brain. Standing firm, this is my terrain. Final verse, no holding back. Stack achievements while others lack. Black and white, my vision's clear. Fear nothing, know my destiny. I'm near. Mere mortals try to comprehend. Transcend limitations, others defend. Bend reality with each syllable uttered. Stutter responses to my liquid flow. Grow beyond confines of what's expected. Respected, voices rarely get rejected. Selected, few can claim my caliber. Galvanizing lyrics, leaving audiences mesmerized by verbal illustrations. Stations tuning in across the nation. Patience tested, but never broken. Spoken words powerful, ring cozy. They never saw me coming. They never felt my presence until the moment arrived when silence wasn't an option.
Straight from the depths where the street lights flicker. My mind works quicker, making whack MCs bicker about how I deliver these lyrical pictures with precision that makes their confidence wither. No Twitter fingers, I'm a certified hitter of verses that linger long after delivery. My words carry weight like gravity, live in reality while you play make-believe. I conceive greatness every time I breathe. Streets raised me, taught me how to perceive the deception and the lies they try to weave. I achieve what others only dream about, shouting my name, but they are falling out of contention because their flow is rented, while mine's invented from experiences cemented in my mind, designed to leave you reminded. When darkness falls and shadows creep, that's when my mind is at its peak. Crafting verses while you sleep, my legacy is what I keep. When darkness falls and shadows creep, that's when my mind is at its peak. Crafting verses while you sleep, my legacy's what I keep. Life dealt me cards that weren't meant to win, but I reshuffled the deck and dealt again. Every loss became a lesson, every pain a blessing. Progressing, fro life without second guessing. My decisions had precision, tunnel vision, focused on a mission while you're busy kissing up to industry execs who don't respect the art form. Instead they just collect checks from talents they'll eventually wreck. I protect my integrity at all costs, even when paths are violently crossed. Never lost sight of what matters most. The culture, the craft, the skillful boast of capabilities that can't be matched. My cerebral attack leaves opponents snatched from their comfort zones into my dominion, where only real recognize is real, that's my opinion. They don't know how far I've come. They don't know what I've overcome. They don't know how deep these lyrics run. They don't know, but they'll learn soon enough. Been plotting my ascension since adolescence. My presence in this game is like an essence of what hip-hop was meant to represent. Raw talent and skill, no need to repent for bringing authenticity back to the forefront. While others chase trends that will soon be gone, I carry on traditions of those before me, storytelling abilities that will surely floor thee. My glory isn't measured by material things, but by the impact my music brings to listeners who relate to every word. My messages and heard and never blurred. My mainstream attempts to water down the crown I've earned without a frown on my face. Despite the struggle and the strife, I bring these rhymes to life with my microphone device. When darkness falls and shadows creep, that's when my mind is at its peak. Crafting verses while you sleep, my legacy's what I keep. When darkness falls and shadows creep, that's when my mind is at its peak. Crafting verses while you sleep, my legacy's what I keep.
Yeah, this that lyrical exercise. Put your mind to work. Let's elevate this. Yo, my cerebral approach leaves opponents baffled. Tactical advantage when my flows unravel. Traveled across landscapes of mental terrain, while other rappers can't whiff, stay in same lane. Claim to fame built on substance, not appearance. Clearance to enter realms of thought, adherence to principles of lyrical excellence. Relevance, off my message has intelligence as its foundation. No basic information, creating conversations beyond basic stations of thought processes most commonly found around. Average artist bowl beats pound without purpose or deeper meaning attached. Match with mediocrity that's easily snatched by listeners seeking momentary pleasure. Treasure truths, all knowledges with Tommy's.
Elevate your mind to heights undefined, where thoughts combine and truths align. Elevate your mind to heights undefined, where thoughts combine and truths align.
Allow me to demonstrate what elevation means. Scenes depicted in my lyrics create vivid dreams. It seems my methodology confuses most who boast about lyrics that rarely provoke more than surface level interpretation. My narration causes mental stimulation, creating neural pathways previously dormant. Faculties awakening toe forms. Expression that challenge conventional thinking, linking concepts that make listeners start blinking in amazement at word associations made in nations of thought without limitations. My imagination spans beyond comprehension. Tension builds as I construct lyrical dimensions with intentions to expand consciousness. Kinson with my mission to enlighten this mind over matter. Words that shatter. Thoughts that scatter, then gather. Yo, let's examine the fabric of reality woven with threads of perception commonly chosen by those frozen in limited thinking, sinking into comfort zones without linking facts together to form complete pictures, mixtures of truth and fiction. That fixture, our collective understanding of existence. Resistance, total change creates consistent distance between potential and actual achievement. Bereavement of knowledge leads to grievances against systems we fail to comprehend fully. Fully engaged minds rarely to take and bully, but circumstances that seem beyond control. Soul development requires intellectual toll, paid through dedication to mental expansion. Expansion off thought requires mental mastery.
Elevate your mind to heights undefined, where thoughts combine and truths align. Elevate your mind to heights undefined, where thoughts combine and truths align.
Yeah, this is how we do it. Straight from the streets to your speakers. Let's go. What?
Microphone check 1 2 coming at you. Lyrical tactics that'll blast straight past you. Never lacking, always packing heat when I speak. Every word this spit leaves MCs feeling so weak. I navigate streets filled with concrete dreams, dodging bullets and schemes. Know what I mean? Reality's harsh, but my flow is smooth. Every bar I drop proves that I've got the groove. Studied the greats like Rakim and KRS. Now I manifest greatness with every breath. No regrets, just progress and steps ahead. While competitors fall flat, looking misled. Born in the era when hip-hop was pure. Now I'm here to make sure it will still endure. Despite the industry trying to dilute the culture we built from grassroots. This is hip-hop in its purest form. Weather the beat like I weather the storm. This is hip-hop, can you feel the roar? Breaking down walls that were built before. I remember days of cassette tape trading, basement ciphers where skills needed no rating. Just raw talent and passion for the craft. Lyrical exercises making the body weight draft. From boom boxes on shoulders to streaming platforms. The medium changes but my message transforms. Hearts and minds with every line I deliver. Make MCs shiver when I'm passing the river of consciousness flowing from brain to tongue. Every verse hits hard like drums being strung together with precision and expert timing. My rhyming capabilities keep climbing to heights unseen by average artists. My smart wits leave competitors the hardest challenge they'll face in their musical quest. Rest dash at my flow, pot you all to the test. Feel the boom, boom, feel the bap. This is real hip-hop coming back. Feel the boom, boom, feel the bap. Taking it back to the golden track. Many claim to be kings without crowns. I built my kingdom from verbal compounds and noun phrases that amaze the masses. My craft so sharp it cuts for wire fouls passes. At greatness I'm skating on thin ice, but never falling because my flow's too nice, too precise to be measured by normal means. My rhyme seems to seams in the hip-hop jeans that clothe the culture in authentic fabric, while commercial rappers become too strategic, losing the essence that made this art form. A voice for those who are weathering storms of oppression and systematic neglect. My dialect brings respect to what I project through speakers that vibrate with truth and power. My lyrics tower over yours every whore. This is hip-hop in its purest form. Weather the beat like I weather the storm. This is hip-hop, can you feel the roar? Breaking down walls that were built before. Real hip-hop never died, just went underground for a while. Now we're bringing it back. Boom Bap attack. Knowledge builds kingdoms where ignorance fails. Truth prevails when falsehood derails. Wisdom entails more than what meets the eye. Enlightened minds rise as others deny. Knowledge builds kingdoms where ignorance fails. Truth prevails when falsehood derails. Wisdom entails more than what meets the eye. Enlightened minds rise as others deny. I manifest thoughts that most keep concealed. Reveal truths that schools rarely teach in field. The real education happens beyond institution. Finding solutions requires personal contribution to discussions about systems of oppression. Progression only comes after confession of historical truths that need addressing. Blessing future generations with lessons from past mistakes made by those in power, who devour resources leaving communities to cower in fear rather than stand with conviction. Addiction to consumption less prediction of societal downfall if we don't awake and take responsibility to remake the foundations upon which we build community. Opportunity for unity desperately needed. Open your mind, question what you find. Seek the truth, break free from the booth. Economic disparity creates a society where variety of thought is met with anxiety. Sobriety of mind is what we require to inspire change amidst conditions so dire. I desire more for generations coming after. Laughter instead of tears, joy instead of disaster. Master your circumstances instead of letting them rule. Tools for survival include knowledge not taught in school. Fool those who think conformity brings freedom. Wisdom comes from challenging the system. Listen carefully to voices long silenced. Balance that scales off justice with widens from ancestors who fought battles before us. The chorus of the struggle should implore us to forge paths of resistance and growth. Oof, the full truth no matter what he coasts. Knowledge builds kingdoms where ignorance fails. Truth prevails where falsehood derails. Wisdom entails more than what meets the eye. Enlightened minds rise as others deny.
Knowledge builds kingdoms where ignorance fails. Truth prevails when falsehood derails. Wisdom entails more than what meets the eye. Enlightened minds rise as others deny. Critical examination of information presented, prevented from being mentally disoriented. Oriented towards truth despite distractions. Reaction, show challenge, show character in action. Satisfaction comes from independent thinking. Linking concepts together without blinking at opposition that tries to discredit. Knowledge builds kingdoms when ignorance fails. Truth prevails when falsehood derails. Wisdom entails more than what meets the eye. Enlightened minds rise as others deny. Knowledge builds kingdoms when ignorance fails. Truth prevails when falsehood derails. Wisdom entails more than what meets the eye. Enlightened minds rise as others deny.